Welcome folks. Now you might have noticed that we have not had a Superbike on the show for some time. So today we are correcting that. And here it is. No, it isn't behind the scooter. It is the scooter. A scooter that costs 162,000 Rand. This is the Italjet Dragster, the new, bigger, more powerful 300cc version. And Italjet pen it as an urban superbike. Sounds a bit like marketing mumbo, but let's delve into this claim. And to do so, we've come to the city of Pretoria, where they happen to have a nature reserve right in the middle of it.
So what we essentially have here is the best of both worlds. We're technically still in Pretoria, and on a lovely superbike style road. Yeah, why not? And if you look over there, there are some zebras. Hello zebras! Disco donkeys.
And now that we have a location, let's see if the Dragster has the grit to live up to the name. Italjet is a 65-year-old Italian company located in the city of Bologna, the same area where Ferrari, Lamborghini and of course Ducati call home. So it has the heritage. Now on to the metrics. Carrying the meager 128 kilograms is a 278cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder motor that pushes a commendable 23.8 horsepower and more so 26 Nm of torque. That's 50% more torque than the old 200 Dragster, which makes sense.
Yeah, except it's got that Molossi exhaust pipe that adds another 4 horsepower. And this thing is not slow. Oh! It's not slow and it's not quiet. The sound of it adds at least 200 kilometers per hour to the top end. Definitely. On a kind of flat stretch, long stretch, you get up to 162. On the freeway, you'll, on a sort of ordinary freeway, you'll do about 130, 140-ish. As I say, if you push it a bit more, 160. So not bad, not bad. Oh, that sound.
And there are no gears, and no clutch to faff around with. Instead, it has a CVT gearbox, the sort that's common on scooters. It uses a strange system of plates, weights, pulleys, and an actual clutch to keep the revs mostly at the same sort of place, while simultaneously increasing the speed. It's exceedingly complicated, but this is a system that has worked well on scooters for decades. More so, over and above the Molossi exhaust, this specific Italjet also has a full Molossi CVT system added, and it's rather miraculous.
So what that does is it's weird, like transmission, it's either you're kind of moving kind of things around, either more top end or either more acceleration. Yet with the way the CVT on this thing works, it's all very kind of complicated and there's a lot of different aspects to it. But what it does is it gives it more acceleration and more top end. And don't ask me how, but it just does. And that's good, so more of everything.
So that's the motor and gearbox. We now move on to the chassis and therefore the handling. And here is where everything gets terribly interesting. As is blatantly apparent, the Dragster uses a steel trellis frame combined with aluminium plates. They say that the steel trellis used in the frame is the same thickness and material as used on Italjet's neighbor, Ducati. And that says something. The rear shock is a run-of-the-mill single shock with a preload adjustment. The front though is something truly special. It uses hub steering, so the handlebars are not connected to forks that go straight down to the front wheel, but are instead connected to a steering arm more similar to the system in a car. The front suspension has an arm extending down one side of the front wheel, making it a single hub assembly. And the front arm is then attached to a shock situated between the rider's feet, where it can be adjusted for compression dampening and preload, much like a superbike. The downside of the system is that when the bike is stationary, the bars are difficult to steer, a bit like a car without power steering. But when it gets moving, well,
Here we go, corner. See what I mean? It kind of tips in. It's not the greatest leaning machine, but it works. I mean, you feel confident, and confidence is good. Very often with such small wheels, you don't feel confident. It really handles nicely. I mean, you think these small wheels, generally small wheels make things feel a little bit kind of out of sorts. But not this at all. It's somehow smooth and stable.
The brakes are from Brembo and work well, but this machine makes it different.
The brakes feel odd. I mean, it's front and rear, okay, both the brakes are on the handlebars, but when you pull them, normally you've got the feeling of a fork kind of diving down. And this feels weird. It's like, it doesn't kind of do that, and the sort of diving feels more like a pivot. That new TFT's dash is a nice touch. Just makes it feel a little bit classier. Why not? It's a small little thing. I mean, that looks nice. Why not? I can tell everything I need.
So far all is well, but nothing is ever quite perfect.
One downside though is that this is living up to its Superbike reputation. It's not comfortable. No, you really do feel every single bump, every single little everything. You feel everything. But that's okay, you know, they don't advertise this as a comfortable, you know, long distance cruiser. They advertise it as a superbike. I mean, I'm not breaking my back anywhere, but every little bit of the road, I feel.
Also, unlike your traditional scooter, there is no boot under the seat to fit groceries, only a cubbyhole big enough to fit wallets and cell phones. This is less convenient, but also in line with the Superbike claim. It also has more Superbike credentials, like guards around the levers, just like MotoGP bikes. Also, it has braided brake hoses.
MotoGP wings, because, you know, it doesn't wheelie, and they don't really do anything, but, you know, it's got them anyway.
So, the Italjet Dragster 300's got heritage, a good motor, interesting and worthwhile handling, and it can stop. But we have not yet mentioned the main reason to buy this bike. It's a reason that's staring you in the face.
This is a bike that just makes you feel happy just owning it. It's a runaround. I wouldn't want to travel for long distance on it. I wouldn't want to enter a race on it, not in South Africa anyway. I mean, against superbikes and that, no. It's a runaround. It's an urban runaround. And it's an urban runaround that makes you feel happy. It's a conversation starter. Anywhere you'll park, people are going to come ask you about it, and you get the joy of telling them about it. All the wonderful little aspects, all the bits and pieces that look good, that are interesting, that are fun. You get the joy of sharing that with people. You get the joy of knowing you own it. And it's a lot of fun to ride. You just want to spend the whole day slowing down and then opening the throttle.